You might have clicked in this video because you're not quite sure what a chromatic scale is, or yours is feeling a little bit uneven, or you're not sure how to practice it and increase the speed of it. So let's dig in and see if we can make this better in any way. So the chromatic scale, the great thing about it is that whatever note you start on, the pattern is the same. What is it? It is a series of notes with every interval being a semitone. So whether you start on a G or an F, the pattern is exactly the same. It's just working out where you stop and how well you can execute it. The problem on the flute is that sometimes we put a finger down and the note gets lower, or we put a finger down and the note gets higher. So it takes our brain a little bit of time to compute how to get that working quickly. It's not just the same as playing it on a piano where you've got a much better visual on it, so it does need practiced carefully. So let's say you've got the concept of the pattern. If you haven't got controlled and strong finger work, it's not committed to muscle memory, it's not going to be even or rhythmical, and that's going to cause you problems when we come across them in pieces as well. So there's lots of ways to practice this. I always teach it in a similar way to begin with, so that the patterns are very, very clear for the learner. And we separate it into small chunks. Let me show you how. So we're going to start with a group of 5 to begin with. So this is essentially a group of 4 plus dovetailing onto the first of the next group. That way there are no gaps when you come to put it together. So you need to show your fingers what you want them to do. Start slowly. Let's say we're looking at a chromatic on F. Now you might be at a different level. It might take you quite a long time just to get that pattern working by itself. If you're still struggling after a good bit of repetition, try taking some simple dotted rhythms. Let me show you. And then. Remember, if it's taking you 10 attempts to get that pattern correct, you need to then play it at least 11 times correctly afterwards, because you need to repeat correctly more often than you play wrongly. You go backwards quicker than you go forwards, sadly. So you might need to spend quite a lot of time on that. Don't worry about it. Just take the time. And if that's what you do one day in your practice, that's fine. If you're at a more advanced level, you will zap through this. You can start to increase the speed, use a metronome, and just get that working really slickly. Okay, group number 2, we're going to take the last note of the previous group and then go up our 5 notes from there. So starting on an A. Or the third thing you're going to do is put those together. I'd really encourage you to be rhythmical with this and maybe bump each of the first of each group of 4. You'll eventually take this out, but it'll keep you in the right place, and therefore you'll know if you've missed a note or you end up in the wrong note at all. 2 groups done, you've got 1 more to go to complete the octave. That's your 3rd group. Take groups 2 and 3 together. Repeating more often correctly than you have done wrongly. Be patient. Lastly, put it together. Obviously, you'll need to repeat that in the next octave up, wherever you're starting. And I know we've done that in a very short space of time. It might take you an awful lot longer. Don't move on to the next step until you've got the previous one sorted. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how long it takes you to learn this. The main thing is that you get strength and dexterity in your fingers. Once you've got the finger patterns flowing, stick the metronome on, start a really steady tempo, start to increase the speed bit by bit. And if you're feeling that you're doing really well at that, you can add in different articulations. Your chromatic should be starting to feel really comfortable now, so repeat it, get used to it. It's my way of saying hello to my flute the first time I start practicing, and soon you'll get a good amount of speed to it, and anytime you come across it in your pieces, it'll be an absolute breeze.